know the deal. The game is on WSAV-CW. Tonight, Charleston area power Woodland invades Varnville to face the new big boys on the block, Hampton County. It's a South Carolina region title match. Woodland, Hampton County, next. Now, your local Nissan dealers present the WSAV-CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week.
There is a hurricane warning coming. It's all the way from the low country right here in Hampton County. The Hurricanes taking on the Woodland Wolverines. It's a battle of two top 10 teams in the entire state. Hampton County ready to prove themselves in their first year of existence, that they know what they're doing in the Hurricane Walk. Right there in full effect. These guys are ready to play and ready to avenge last year's loss all at the same time. Andrew Davis here with Justin Jarrett from Loco Sports. Justin, this is like your home away from home. You love Hampton County so much.
Oh, man, I love it. This is my third trip. Actually, my second trip here this season, third time I've seen them. But you saw him on the Hurricane Walk out there. My man one time leading the way in the Michael Irvin jersey. He met me at the gate tonight with a peanut bar in case I get a little peckish during the game. So I love coming to Hampton County, man. We got our Rigdon's fried chicken before the game, and now it's time for some great football.
Now they're hoping it doesn't get too nuts, that's for sure. So there it was, had to go. What are the keys to the game? Let's go to them.
Now, the Soothing Touch Massage Friday Night Blitz keys to the game.
And we start with Woodland right now. They said they have to avoid turnovers. That's the biggest thing out. Also, don't get knocked out early. There's going to be a lot of emotion in these stands, Justin, really making a big difference for Hampton County.
Yep, that's the thing we talked about today on the Loco Game Day Live. Really, we feel like Hampton has so much energy around this program right now. That Hurricane Walk is exciting. If you let them steamroll you, they will.
Well, absolutely, and whatever it takes to win means they want to run, but if they have to, they'll throw the ball as many times as they need if it means points and a victory. On the other side, Hampton County, I'll tell you what, score early. We were talking about it. Use that emotion to their advantage. Stop the run. This Woodland team wants to run all over you.
Yeah, and then, you know, your third one there, be more physical, is the one that stands out to me, because I think this game is won and lost on the line of scrimmage. The team that can control the trenches is going to get the dub.
Time for the coin toss.
Now, the Nissan Friday Night Blitz coin toss.
All right, there's the referee right there talking to both teams, setting it up. Justin, you go heads or tails? It's a simple factor.
Tails never fail.
Tails never fails. There it is. So
it's a philosophy, a mantra.
Woodland will go ahead.
Visiting team, you're going to call the toss. President Eisenhower's heads. That eagle is tails.
Heads.
Tails.
What's
the call going to be? Heads is called. I'm going to flip it, let it hit the ground. Heads is called. It's tails. Woodland, pardon me. Hampton County, you've won the toss. You're going to take the ball. What end do you want to kick from? All right, go ahead and put your backs to the goal you chose to defend.
All right, so
Hampton County won the toss. They have elected to
receive.
Gentlemen, shake hands, bring your teams out, and good luck, guys.
From this team, they're ready. Talk to both coaches about this one too, Justin. They're really mirror images of one another. They both play basically the same system with the same amount of speed guys, especially.
Yeah, they really are. It's a very interesting matchup because they're so similar, and you know, it's not one of those things where one team is going to try to dictate a different pace than the other. They both want to play the same game. They just want to execute better than their opponent.
Really interesting. Both running teams too, Justin, but so much speed. Both track teams are big stars, and they're using every one of those guys that they can to break free. So I think if you get any open field for either one of these teams, it could be straight to the house.
Yeah, you know, we talk a lot about Dobson, but I really think the team that connects on a big play could be the winner tonight. And we've seen some guys step up for Hampton in that category. Lofties, Hezekiah Abram, and the freshman, Jordan Bobain. They've got some dangerous plays.
A lot of guys out there. The Dobson, you're talking about Zion Dobson. He's got 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns already this year. You know he will get the rock a lot of times, and that's going to be the key. Coach believes right there to win this game.
Yeah, Dobson told us last night on the Loco Sports Lowdown that he's planning on carrying it 30 times tonight if that's what it takes, and that might be.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens. I think interesting the Hurricanes take that ball and use that momentum. There's going to be a lot of fans here and a lot of emotion. This team lost last year, 4th and goal. Wasn't able to capitalize on this one. Coach Hanna's talking about that even to this day.
Oh, yeah. That one and the Oceanside loss in the playoffs are the two that are really still sticking with them. And this is an opportunity tonight for Hampton County to establish themselves as the front runner in the region.
Remember, Hampton County, of course, a combination of Estill and Wade Hampton from last year. They really were able to gel a lot better than you ever believed, and they're really making it work so far.
Yeah, and if anybody could do it, I thought it was Coach Hanna, but even he had his reservations. He wasn't sure. It was going to be a tough task, but they started in January, and it's a brotherhood now. That's their mantra, and it's real.
Well, here we are for the Soothing Touch kickoff right now. Hampton County back deep, multiple guys, including James Dunham Jr. among the men out there, along with Jordan Bovain. We talked about him a little bit more, some coming up, and they will kick it straight, and it will be Dunham. He'll be in the end zone. He'll go ahead and just take that one and kneel on it right there. Let's go ahead to your starting lineups.
Now, Georgia Department of Behavioral Health brings you the Friday Night Blitz starting lineup.
We already mentioned his name, but Zion Dobson could be the key to this whole game for Hampton County. The quarterback, Chris Terry, is a junior. He's got speed and the ability to throw, although he doesn't throw much. And then it's just a variety of guys on the outside who can do so much with it. The offensive line, though, may be the key to blocking down and making sure that this aggressive Woodland defense can't get to it.
No question. Offensive line has to protect.
So here we are. Terry will start in the shotgun with 4 wides, and the handoff to Dobson right off. And Dobson's brought down almost right at the line. An excellent quick tackle right there by DJ Blanding, the defensive end. So you look at the Hampton County on the other side defensively, which we'll see in just a few moments on this one. There's your Woodland defensive starters. We talked about Blanding, Chance Green, the senior linebacker. Jamin Pinckney, coach says, has a chance to go all the way to D1 and beyond over there.
Yeah, and then Tyree Edwards, a two-sport guy, basketball player, really good corner. I think 5 picks coming in.
2nd and 10 now, the handoff. No, it's the fake up the middle instead. Terry will keep it himself, and he'll get about 4 on that one. I think Terry's going to have to do that a lot and maybe run more than we expected to because the continues stuff.
Well, they run a lot of option stuff, and so he's got to take what the defense gives him, and that's what he does so well. You said he doesn't throw it a lot. He throws it as much as he needs to and as much as they force him to. If they're going to load the box to stop Dobson, then he'll look for those speed guys on the outside.
And look for the deep ball because that's what they want to throw as much as
yes.
top. 11 touchdowns passing for Terry, so he does just enough. A lot of those are of the long variety.
And many are of the play-action variety. They look for a weakness, they see a key, and somebody bites on a play-action, and it's all over.
Here we are, 3rd and 5 on this one. Terry's going to throw it out, a quick out right there. Perfect toss on the side over to Jordan Bovain, and Bovain's going to go ahead and get 10 on that one, and that'll be a first down for Hampton County.
That's his only reception this season that I think was between 1 and 70 yards. Everything else was 0, 1, 70, and 80 or something like that.
He has 4 receptions on the year for 152 yards. One was a 70-yard touchdown, one was an 80-yard touchdown. The other 2 combined for 2
1
yards.
each. Yeah, 1 each.
You know, so there we are. So we'll see what
Third
Bovain
longest
does.
catch of the year.
Already he's in the offense more than they thought. There's Terry with multiple guys on the line. He's going to hand it off to Dobson again. Dobson will get the corner on this one. He's got 10 and more, about 12 on that one for Zion. Dobson, they're going to have to get him on the outside and get him some space.
Yeah, and Coach Hanna talked to you earlier this week about his patience this year, and you see that there. He waits to see where the crease is going to be, sees he has to bounce it outside, and then he's still strong enough to lower the shoulder and take the guy home.
He's got football speed, too. They were talking about that. He may not be the fastest guy in the world, but he's worked on his speed because that's what coaches told him from the next level that he needed to do, and he's starting to get looks now because of it. So here's a pass on the outside. Terry again to Bovain, and Bovain will drop that one and get popped on the outside. Big stick by Tyree Edwards, the corner wide receiver, and he was not able to hold on to that, so we'll be at 2nd and 10.
Probably just as well. I think he was going to lose a couple of yards if he caught it. The throw was just a little high. Maybe if it's on target, he's able to get his feet and make a move because like we mentioned, Beauvain is kind of either you get him at the line of scrimmage or you don't get him because he's so fast.
Super fast out there. He's a middle school running back that converted into a wide receiver now. Next year he's going to get his chance. 133 rushing yards, 151 receiving on this one. So we'll see what he can do with the ball in his hands. Meanwhile, Terry will be the next again. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to fake it, take it himself. He's going to break one tackle, get to the second level, and first down right there for Hampton County. Chris Terry really showing what he can do with his legs.
Yeah, and you just needed one more block out there on the edge. I can't tell if that's 8 or 9 Goodwin or Loftus, but just couldn't seal the block quite long enough here on the edge. If he does, if he gets on that guy, Terry's got a chance to go. Good tuck on that one, able to break the tackle of DJ Blanding from Woodland and make that, not quite a first down. They caught him just about a half yard short on this, so give him 9, and instead it'll be 3rd and 1 right here. Terry running with 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and Dobson next to him. He's going to look to throw under some pressure on the run. He's going to find his open man. It's tipped, and then through the hands of his intended receiver on that one, Jordan Beauvain. Beauvain caught the first one and has unfortunately dropped 2. The one not his fault. That one hit him right in the hands, but it was tipped first. It was tipped, and he showed great concentration, it looked like, to look it into his hands, but then he got to thinking about that green space behind him, and had got to catch it first. Got to secure it first. You're a freshman. This is what you're learning out there, too. Lessons learned, baby. Every step they're talking about it. A lot of seniors on this team, but Beauvain could be one of the keys as that extra 3rd wide receiver they need. He is explosive. He's the kind of guy who might only be involved in a couple of plays in the game, but they're huge. So 4th and 1, and Hampton County will be going for this right here. The Hurricanes looking to the sidelines, and they do a quick snap. Fake play. Terry looked like he didn't know what was going on. They snapped it to the up back instead, and he's going to get about 10 on that one. Oh, I love it. Call. I love it. That's little gamesmanship. Ball carrier Kayvon Chisholm on that. Number 7 with a great play. Watch this again. Terry turns his sidelines like nothing's going on. He doesn't know what's happening. Instead, they do the quick snap to Chisholm under center, and he easily gets that with a big gain of about 10 yards. You've got to pull out all the stops in a big game like this. Remember, Woodland undefeated. Hampton County with only 1 loss right now, but this probably means a region championship, and we'll talk throughout about what that will mean later on. Right, yeah, big stakes. Here's Terry handing off to Dobson. Dobson gets to the 2nd level, 3rd level on that one. Big giant gain for Zion Dobson, who's up early and making his way through. Man, it's more than just the first down there, because you can pick up the first down any old way, but when you pick it up in that way, it's kind of demoralizing to the defense. It's really hard to come back on the next play and be your best. Again, he's able to break tackles. That one, Jackson Sharp missed him, and it took him to the secondary for a big gain. 8:23 left here in the first quarter. Hampton County in the blue, driving on Woodland, looking to try to beat their undefeated streak right here. Here's the handoff again to Dobson. Dobson will get some more yards, and listen, drag some tacklers forward. That's going to get about 8, maybe 9 yards for Dobson on that one. He's not easy to bring down, not the biggest guy in the world. 5'10", they say about 173, but leg drive is big. Well, and he is like 0 body fat. That dude is chiseled. He fell in love with the weight room over the summer and got bigger and stronger, and he is really a force. I think he's a college running back at the very least. He's maybe a Division I running back. Starting to get looks, got an offer. We'll go back to Dobson. They don't have time when he can get around the corner like that, and he's going to go in the end zone for the score. The Hurricanes with a quick drive and a quick score. Zion Dobson breaks 2 tackles on the way in the end zone, and Hampton County takes a 6-0 lead. Yeah, that's tough for Woodland. You played really good defense for most of that drive, but you get them to 4th down and you can't get the stop, and they just keep coming and pounding it at you. And Zion Dobson is a tough dude to bring down when you can smell that himself. Well, and he's ready for this one. Like you said, these coaching staff want this. They know what it means, not just now, but for the region and for this school. Also, he's putting everything together with 2 schools as one and to create a potential football powerhouse. The extra point is up and good, so 7:38 left. We do have Hampton County 7-0. Interesting, the coach and I were talking before. Coach Hanna said the best thing about it was he had all the skill guys coming back from Wade Hampton, who he coached, and then Estel came in with the offensive line, which his team had lost. So it was the perfect marriage of 2. Once again, Dobson breaking tackles on that one. A total of 49 yards and just 5 carries on that drive. That's what he does. I mean, he averages, about 12 a carry on the season thus far. He's run all over some pretty good defenses, and he does it week after week. And, we talked to him last night about the fact that kind of connecting the dots for other kids who are maybe looking up to him, that doesn't happen by accident. It's the hard work that he's put in that got him here. And this team is really disciplined and much more so than you may have expected based on the melding of the two schools.
That's really what's interesting about it as we go to the Soothing Touch kickoff here. Hampton County will kick it off. The big man, number 54, Emmanuel Barcos Santiago, not some that size that guy usually for a kickoff. It's going to be short and get over to about the 42-yard line for Woodland, so they're going to be in good field position to start on this one.
If you haven't seen linemen kick, you haven't been to enough small school country games, because it happens, man. It
Absolutely.
happens. Whoever can get the most weight behind it and not fall down is the guy who's kicking off.
Here are your Woodland starters from offense here. Cooper Glazer, the senior quarterback. TJ Wright is their guy, has almost 1,000 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. Watch out for those wide receivers, especially Tyrell Sampson. He's got speed to burn on either side. We'll snap to Glazer. He's going to hand it off right up there to Wright. And Wright's going to get 1, maybe 2 on that, and then forced back from there. Couple people on in that, including several of the defensive linemen. Looking at those defensive starters here for Hampton, that's Woodland's defensive starters. Here's Hampton County's. And we saw a little bit earlier, Daniel Anderson, the nose tackle, really stands out for this Hampton County defense.
Yeah, he's terrific. He's the cog in the middle, but the thing that makes them really dynamic is Kayvon Chisholm on one edge and then Mandrell Sanders standing up on the other edge. There's nowhere to go.
Their numbers are be outrageous. We'll show them to you in just a few minutes. Here's the snap again to Glazer. Glazer's going to be almost pulled down. Breaks one tackle, can't get past the second though. Trent Robinson brings him down in the backfield for a loss. An incredibly aggressive Hampton County defense.
And that's their philosophy. 11 hats to the ball, fly to the ball, and that's what you have to do against a team like Woodland, because they've got athletic players at the skill positions who are going to make the first man miss more often than not. And you've got to have the second man coming in before they catch their balance and get ahead of steam.
We don't just talk about the aggressive defense. There are multiple guys with 10-plus tackles for losses in here. Some with 20-plus. We'll talk about them soon. But really, it's incredible how much they're willing to push towards the ball.
You saw it there with 15, Mickey Mandrell Sanders. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Here's Glazer, will drop back. He'll throw it right on the outside there to Tyrell Sampson. Sampson going to get maybe 2-3 yards on that one. The aggressive Hampton defense will bring him down, and nothing doing it. That will be 4th and 7.
Yeah, good job by, I think that's Xavier Garvin out there on the edge. Shirts keep coming up, and I can't make out numbers, but I think that's 3. Garvin stopping him out there on the edge enough to slow him down, and second man in. Once again, gang tackling is a big key for Hampton.
Absolutely. You got multiple guys out there, so we'll see. They're going to go ahead and punt on this. That will be Beauvain looking back there to go ahead and return this punt.
Uh-oh.
The snap is over the punter's head. He's going to try to get it off. Boy, what a great job right there by Woodland to be able to even get anything out of that when it should have been nothing. Cooper Knight with a good job there. He's going to get the negative yards on the punt. So Hampton County will be back in business when we come back right here. 7-0 Hurricanes over the Wolverines. You're watching WSAV Friday Night Blitz right here on the CW.
Yeah.
This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Nissan. Experience the thrill for yourself at your local Nissan store at nissanusa.com today. So far, some happy seniors for senior night here at Hampton County. You see the cheerleaders right there. The Hurricanes with an early 7-0 lead over undefeated Woodland. Hampton County only one loss on the year. They are the combination, again, of Wade Hampton and Estill back together for the first time, and really interesting to see this team gel. Coach Hanna made sure that happens. We'll talk about that right after this play, Justin, because I know you've got some interesting thoughts on exactly why this is working.
Yeah, I do.
But we've got Chris Terry right there.
I love it.
Chris Terry's your quarterback. He's going to hand it off to their star, Zion Dobson. Ooh. Dobson goes no place on that one. DJ Blanding able to bring him down in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 4 on that.
Blanding's a dog, man. He's having a heck of a game so far. He's been in the backfield on every play. He's in on every stop in the middle. I'm really impressed with him.
I don't like the way he's holding his arm, though. He is clearly unhappy with something that just happened there. We'll see if they're going to bring him out or not.
Who'd you have holding an arm? I missed it.
Dobson himself is holding his arm on that, so we'll see how he
is.
He's shaking it a little bit. I don't know if he just got thrown down wrong. Landing already 3 tackles for Woodland on there from the D-line. Here's the fake. Terry's going to go play action, and he's going to go deep. He's got his man wide open. That's short of the lane, and that's another Hurricane touchdown.
Yeah, he looked that one into his hands, didn't he?
Easy after dropping too early. Came up with that on a big touchdown play action pass. You know what happens when you run as well as you do. The play action works that much better, and Terry worked it to perfection.
And that's what they do. They'll show the play action and read that corner, and if he comes up to try to stop the jet, then they're going over the top.
Also give the offensive line tons of credit because Terry had all kinds of time to throw that to make sure that happened, and Beauvain will go all the way in the end zone. He's probably your future star, becoming a star this year for them as just a freshman.
Oh, and Zion is down now. This is not good. This is
Zion
not
Dobson,
good.
who did go down. We told you, I saw him holding his arm over there after the other play. Now they're going to look at him one more time. Hopefully he's okay, because even with a 13-0 lead, if you lose Dobson, this is a different Hampton County team.
Yeah, no question. I mean, completely different. Yeah.
We talked about the senior. I mean, he's a senior. He's got averaging 165 rushing yards a game, has 8 100-yard games so far. So you know that he's exactly who they need out there at all points. So we're going to see what's happening with Dobson. This is exactly the start they wanted. This is the play before you see bounce off his own man, then got thrown down. I think he may have hyperextended his elbow, his left elbow on that, because you see him laying it on the ground, his shoulder, his elbow.
Either that or he jammed the elbow in and it dislocated the shoulder a little bit.
He was
at any rate, it's an arm. That's good. He's a running back. If it's a pitcher and it's his leg, or a running back and his arm, you can maybe work with it.
Now, he was able to get off the field, so we'll see what happens next time they have offense. But in the meantime, another extra point right here for Ray Sullivan. 2 in a row, and suddenly Hampton County up 14-0 early. It's what Coach Ford talked about. His team needed to weather the storm, and they haven't so far. It's been a huge difference for Hampton County to take the emotion and drive forward.
Now they're in the eye of it right now, and they need to respond right here, or they're about to get battered.
Yeah, could be. So 2 receptions for Beauvain and that touchdown, 59 yards in all. Coach really talked about all the speed. Speaking, I just can't help but talk about Emmanuel Marcos Santiago over here. He's a big man who's kicking this so far. I'll tell you, you don't mess around. When you got the big guys kicking, you know it's serious.
Yeah, E54. That's what we're going to call him. E54, baby. He's bigger than E40.
Or E60 or anything else, I think. Here's the kick. That'll go down to about the 25. Picked up by one of the upmen, who's going to get a little bit of room on that, but not too much. Trayvon Walker will get it up to about the 37-yard line. So for Woodland, they're going to want to run. They're not panicking yet. They can put up points and bunches as they need to. They've been over 40 multiple times already this year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But both coaches kind of admitted maybe Hampton County's schedule has actually been tougher than Woodland so far. This may be the biggest test they've had by far.
Yeah, I do believe that. I think that's the one knock on Woodland, and the reason they're still ranked below Hampton County in the media poll, and significantly below Hampton County, I think, in the Max Preps, computer rankings, because they haven't seen really great competition, and this is the toughest defense they've seen.
Absolutely aggressive as they are. So here's Cooper Glazer, the senior quarterback. He's going to hand the ball off to T.J. Wright. Wright's going to get right into the line, and nothing doing there.
T-Rob.
Big man in the middle right there. Daniel Anderson among others in the middle of that. So the guy also to watch, maybe number 7 on the side, Kayvon Chisholm. He's got 5 offers so far. Georgia State, Citadel, Toledo. So he really knows what he did. He had 2 sacks against Casey. He's got 14.5 tackles for loss on the year.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's one of the guys who came over from Estill. I got to know him really well last season because they had a good run in football and then again in basketball, and I was around him a lot. Outstanding young man, honor student. He's going to make somebody really happy wherever he plays college football.
Yeah, and let's understand, Estill was 11-2 last year, so you're combining two good teams. There once again is Wright, and Wright going no place one more time. Big stick right there by Cody Seeger's one of the guys in the middle of that.
Yeah, he's a little undersized in there in the middle at linebacker, but man, he does not play like it. He's a big dog, and you know that's their mantra: be a dog. Coach Hanna tells them after the game, get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, and say, "I'm a dog." And every one of them's bought into that mantra, and they even have memes with dogs.
Well, Seegers out there had 15 tackles as a dog and 4 tackles for loss against C.A. Johnson on this one. But among the other guys, multiple guys, Mandrell Sanders in the middle of that too. Different quarterback now. There will be switching quarterbacks. Here's the quarterback tossing it up top. Gervais Sally, and Sally has missed his guy. Talking to coaches, they said, we're going to go 2 for 1 in the Hampton County side, so you're going to see Garvin as the quarterback, and then Sally's the other guy. They think he may be more talented right now than Blazer, but he doesn't quite have that experience nor the moxie that you need to play quarterback.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one, though. You can see physically as a ninth grader, there are some tools there that you know are pretty impressive. So as he matures, he's going to be something else. Older brother was a stud basketball player, I think so.
Once again, a looping toss, and not much on that punt either. That's going to get a good roll, though, for Woodland, and that'll get it down to the 32, 31-yard line. So they got lucky. The snaps have not been good on 2 punts in a row, and it nearly cost the Wolverines in both cases. You know, we talked about it. Estill was 11-2 last year, and they don't exist anymore. Those guys, they had 27 guys come over. 20 of those they bust in during the summer to make sure that they could make workouts and try to really incorporate that into a team atmosphere.
Yeah, I think they started the busing in January, actually, and they had a weightlifting class, and they bus kids over for it. And you had like 48 kids in there mixed from the 2 schools, and that was where it all started. That was where the bonding began, and that's where this team became the physical team they are.
Here's Chris Terry. He's going to throw right to the outside. That's Bovain again. Bovain been the target multiple times now, and he'll go ahead and get 6 on that one. Interesting, Jordan Bovain been the guy so far. They feel like they've got something in the slot.
Yeah, they clearly are making an effort to get the ball in his hands, and I love that after a couple of early miscues, they went back to him on that deep ball and trusted in him and let him use that mistake as something he can build on, and now he has some confidence going forward.
He said just a freshman. He's a running back by trade, moving over to wide receiver this year. Coach thinks if he puts weight on, he could be back in that running back slot and never later
Yeah, man,
on.
I don't know. I like him in that slot. I like him
so
in that
far,
slot.
I like him a lot in that slot. There's a toss
heavy.
again to the outside. Picked up by Hezekiah Abram. Abram not able to escape that tackle. Actually, he's going to lose about 1 on that play.
You know, one of the things I love about small schools like this is you really lean on your kids to play multiple sports. And so I've gotten to know these Hampton kids like really quickly, despite only covering them for a couple of seasons, because you know Hezzy's the goalie on the soccer team, and everybody's on the basketball team, and so you see them every season.
So that's what you're looking at, too. You talk about the basketball kids out there, too, who have started coming into football because they saw a winning team and want to be part of it all. So here's the snap to Terry. Terry's going to hand off Dobson back in the game. Looked like he got pulled down by the face mask, and they throw the flag, but didn't stop him. Instead, Dobson, like a freight train, going through people and getting extra yardage, and they're going to tack 15 on top of that after a gain of 9.
Yeah, he's back in there. I told you, it's going to take more than an arm to get him out of the game. It's going to have to be...
Or a face mask, apparently, either, because he tried to pull him down that way. He's not going down easy. Good tackle by Chance Green on that one for Woodland, but it was way too late.
Mask.
Not only did he get the first down, they're going to push it 15
15-yard
forward
penalty.
for the Hurricanes.
Make no mistake, though, Zion's hurting. You can tell he's not right. I think that shoulder is banged up, but he's going to play through it as long as he can. If it's a pain tolerance thing, he's going to do as much as he can do until it's just intolerable.
And we'll look at it here, too. Okay, I think we're going to switch quarterbacks on this one. I believe Xavier Garvin now in the game. No, Terry's going to stay in the game. They said Garvin may play some wide receiver, too.
Oh, yeah.
Instead, they're going to go ahead and stick with Terry right now. The hot hand after 2 scores. Going to leave him. There is Garvin actually on that snap. He's going to get the fake, and Terry's going to go up top again and just past his wide receiver. intended for Zamone Lofties on that one and couldn't quite hit it.
Man, Lofties has been a great spark for them. Last week he had 2 huge plays and another one called back. Had an 80-yard punt return touchdown that was eye-popping right up the sideline in front of the home crowd. 80-yard touchdown reception, and then he had another punt return called back on a roughing the kicker, because one time told them to send everybody down in the front row, and they did, and they left the kicker. So one time that one's on you, guys.
Really interesting. Terry tapped his chest. He knew he missed him because he had Lofties on that one.
Yeah, he did.
Coach Dana calls him the smartest player he's ever coached right now, and he's proven it there. So Terry pitching it to the outside again. Dobson with a lot of room, and he's going to break free, and he's going to go all the way in for the score. A swarm right now. An overwhelming play by the Hurricanes. They're going to go ahead and get that in for the score. It is 21-0. They're looking for the money on the sidelines right there for Hampton County. The Hurricanes, Zion Dobson with his second touchdown of the day, and already 3 scores in the books. Hampton County with a 21-0 lead.
And give an assist to Hezekiah Abram out here, number 1. Watch him seal the edge, and that's what they were missing on the play earlier on the other sideline. They get that one sealing block, Dobson hits the hole, and it's over.
Anytime you hit a big play like that, you know the wide receivers have to block
That's
for
right.
you. Dobson already, we said, averaging about 165 a game, 8 carries, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, hurting or not, so far, he's been the star for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, he's fine. Look at it. One more touchdown, and I think he can take the rest of the night off anyway. So.
You never believe it. We'll see what Woodland does. I mean, you're talking about a bad snap, bad punt, another mediocre punt at best, and a Hurricane defense that has swarmed them under on 2 straight drives.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything you want if you're Hampton County and everything that you feared if you're Coach Ford and the Wolverines. I mean, he told you, I should say, in your interview that they can't get steamrolled out of the gate. They've got to stop the momentum, and they have not been able to do that at all.
But let's also be serious here. 466 yards against Ridgeland, so this team can put up yards at any point right now. Coach Ford believed their sophomore and junior dominated. Here is the extra point by Rafe Sullivan. And Sullivan up and good on that one, too. Sophomore junior dominated, so he actually believes his team's better next year, even though they're undefeated this year.
Yeah, and that's a scary thought. I don't think Hampton County is necessarily better next year, but I think they're awfully good next year. That's going to be a continued rivalry between these 2 programs. It's a really good rivalry. They are, like you said earlier, kind of mirror images in a lot of sports, not just in football, but also in basketball and track. And they're good in the same sports, so they've got a really nice rivalry.
Well, that's what's really interesting about it, too. So far, 179 yards to just 6 for that team, for the Woodland team right now. The band, though, still rocking for Woodland. They're not going to stop anytime soon. They believe in what their guys can do.
They were down 14-0 when they got here, so they got to get it in.
They're ready for it. So they made it to the stands. They made it in there. They're going to play and hopefully give their team a little bit of emotion on this one. Manuel Barcos Santiago, the big man, going to go ahead and kick this one off one more time. And he'll get it down to, again, about the 30 this time. And going to be picked up and get all the way down to the 40 to the 41-yard line. That's where Woodland will start. They've not been a question about their spot. Trayvon Walker again, so they've gotten good field position. It's just this swarming Hampton defense which has made the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard as a run-first team to get much going against Hampton. You've got to be able to soften them up a little bit and not allow them to pin back their ears. If you can't hit some passes early, they're going to come at you, and it's tough to get anything going.
Cooper Glazer only thrown 56 times all season so far for Woodland, so we'll see what he can do. He has completed 33 of those, so he's got a good percentage. We'll see if they have to throw now, and they will on this one. They're going to go up top and a wide open wide receiver on that. That's a good catch by Jaquise Sally, the quarterback/wide receiver for them, and he'll go ahead and get a big yards to about 8.5 on that one, so we'll be 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of thing they need to look for. Just spread out a little bit, find a matchup, get soft, and get a few yards, and just get something going. Because we've got to get the defense off the field for a little bit.
Hampton aggressive, playing that run, so I think you're going to have to see Cooper Glazer guys who threw a bunch coming up if they're going to stay in this game, and he will drop back again to pass. Looking for some help, ran into a defender, then he was able to escape. He was going to throw it off and picked off on that one. It is picked off. Hampton County again with the turnover. A huge pick by Jalen Singletary, and the Hurricanes cannot be stopped right now. With a huge pick, Blazer able to escape the D lineman, but then throws an ill-advised pass, and suddenly Hurricanes back in business.
Singletary has been a bit of a revelation for them on defense this year. I mean, every time I've seen him, he is making plays, and he comes up with a huge one here, jumping that route. That's his third pick of the season, just a sophomore.
Had 2 against Ridgeland, so this is just, as you said, his third.
Well, I was at that game, so that explains
There
it.
you go. The defense also showing out so far. 10 turnovers coming into the last 4 games. The defense has really began to play of their own, and both these teams believe they have a shot at the title, and if their defense keeps playing like this, they do. So we'll see what Hampton County can do right now. Again, Terry going to stay, as the coach said he's going to stick with a hot hand. There's a flag, couple flags on this one. Terry just throws it out of bounds away from everybody. And that'll be 2 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've kind of settled on Terry as the quarterback, the QB1. Xavier is kind of the change of pace, the X-factor guy, because they need him on defense. He's really important in the secondary for them. They need him to be fresh.
Coach Hanna said he'd rather actually see him rested on offense more because he's better on defense for them and much more needed there.
Yep. Well, and Hanna wants best 11 on defense always.
Of course. So, but you're
Except
looking at
Zion.
multiple flags here, I think. Holding at least, and we'll see if they also call a grounding potentially, but it's at least holding.
Grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket. However, holding offense number 56. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
They will just call holding. I think they were talking whether that Terry had grounded that ball. So we're at 2.6 seconds left on your clock here in the first quarter. And the first quarter dominated by Hampton County so far. So we'll see what can happen. Here's Garvin, just as we talked about. Terry was in there, now Garvin's in there for a little bit of speed. We're going to go with the option, and Garvin will get the corner on this one. Xavier Garvin will go past the 50 down to about the 47-yard line, 46-yard line, and that will be the way we end the first quarter with Hampton County all over Woodland right now. The Wolverines have no answer for the hurricane that's coming at them. We'll see what happens in the second quarter. Hampton County with a 21-0 lead over Woodland. You're watching WSCV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week. This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Soothing Touch Massage. Located in Port Wentworth, we are available 7 days a week to help you feel your best. Right now, everybody's feeling it here in Hampton County. 21-0, the Hampton County Hurricanes with a big lead over the undefeated Woodland Wolverines. 95 yards to just 14 so far. Coach Eddie Ford, you saw him briefly there. I believe he's looking for something on defense, maybe to spark his team. But right now, there's nothing doing for Hampton. It's 2nd and 5. After getting the holding penalty, they got 15 from Xavier Garvin, who is in at quarterback right now for Hampton County.
We'll get 5 more.
It's going to be 5 more back the other direction. Garvin known for more speed. He can throw as necessary, but he's more of their running threat right now than Chris Terry, who's the quarterback.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I mean,
first
they're
down.
kind of similar guys in the sense that they both would probably rather run it than throw it, but when Terry's in there, they're trying to use those weapons on the outside more. Whereas with Garvin, you know, if it's there, he's going to throw it, but they're trying to get guys spread out and create lanes for him to do what he can do, because he's a video game.
Yeah, and Coach sat there and said he put him into competition at the beginning and said, one of you guys will win, the other one will still play and play a lot. And that's exactly what's happening. There's 2 alternate guys who go with the hot hand to see who may really be able to run this offense better. So instead, we're back at 2nd and 10, and there is Garvin. Garvin's going to get past the 30, all the way down to the 25 to the 24-yard line. Xavier Garvin, you're right, kind of video game, just moving left to right, just quicks all over the place.
Well, and he was the guy for that 11-2 Escalade team last year. They had some other guys around it, but he was the dude. And, you know, it's a lot easier for him to be explosive and make big plays like this when he's only carrying it 4 or 5 times a game instead of 30.
Exactly. Makes a difference. He's fresh every time they do it, and that's what Coach said. He likes to have both of them in there so they're both fresh, and they can get a good view maybe from the sidelines, too. So Garvin's still in at quarterback. We're at 1st and 10 from the 24. 3 wide set out to left, 1 down to the right. And Garvin will hand it off to Dobson, and Dobson again. Zion Dobson with tons of room. Going to cut back, and he's going to score one more time. For the 3rd time in the first 13 minutes of this game, Zion Dobson has found the end zone for Hampton County.
Zion Dobson is him, as the kids say.
Well, but give the line credit, because you or I could have run through there and probably gotten close to the end zone, if not all the way. But Dobson had the cutback to make sure he would score. Zion Dobson, I'll tell you, this line is dominating. Give credit to Daryl Causey, Emmanuel Barco Santiago, Tajay Wright, DeMonte Mathis, and Daniel Anderson. They've opened huge holes so far.
Oh, shoot, did I not notice DeMonte is back in there? He's been out.
They said he's on one of the starters, so you know he's doing the damage on there. 56 for Hampton County, so we're at 28-0 with 11 minutes left still in the 2nd quarter. I think as much as both coaches admitted maybe Hampton was better than Woodland, I don't think either one thought they were this good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Hampton was the better team coming in, and I thought being at home in particular that they would have the edge, but I didn't see this kind of gulf. This is impressive.
So we said Dobson walked in with a 12-yard average per carry. He's got 9 carries, 118, 3 touchdowns, and a 13.1 average. So he's above his average right now. The team's got a total of 172 yards in all. It's been pure domination by the Hurricanes so far, and I don't think any coach would have believed this walking in.
No, I mean, but this is what we kind of set the stage for, is in terms of the potential that if Hampton County gets it rolling with the energy in the building and you don't deflate the balloon at some point, it's going to get bad.
Well, but if you set the scene, these are 2 top 10 teams. You see the stats again for Dobson. In fact, you see the kickoff. Top 10 teams is again early kickoff and run back by Trayvon Walker, who's going to get to about the 38. I mean, Woodland is no slouch. They're undefeated walking. They beat everybody and put up 30-plus points in almost every game that they've played. So this is not a team that you expected to maybe be dominated like this when both teams felt that they can go the whole way.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we may not know for another week or two whether Woodland has been exposed tonight or Hampton County showed something, another gear, but we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks.
Well, and how much did this game mean to Coach Hanna walking in? You got a chance to talk to him, too.
Yeah, it meant a ton to him. I mean, everybody. Chris Myers, the co-OC, texted me on Monday and said, guess what? Big bleep week.
There's the handoff to Wright again. Nothing doing. Anderson in the middle right there. Came on Chisholm, a bunch of guys on there going to hit him and take him down, but Daniel Anderson made first contact 6'3", 305. That is not a guy you want to make contact with you, but watch how quickly he gets in the backfield. No chance for TJ Wright. Then multiple guys pick him up from there, including Mandrell Sanders. We talked about that defense. How about 21.5 tackles for loss for Mandrell Sanders this year, including that one right there. So it's 22.5 now.
He's at 20-25. Get on him, folks. That kid can play, man. He's starting to get the looks. Coach Hannah says he's getting looks now. People are starting to see exactly what he's got, and they know him out there. So we'll see now. It's 2nd and 13 on this one. The quarterback, Jaquise Sally, and Sally's going to throw it out there incomplete. So Sally, that second quarterback, he said they go maybe 2 for 1 on this. 2 series, 1 quarterback, 1 for the other, then see what happens. So far, neither one has been able to do much against this defense, which truly aggressive is almost too low of a word for how good they are and how much pressure they'll put on you. At some point, neither one of them really wants to. And that's the problem, because these guys just keep coming at you. And, Jackson Bybee from Hilton Head, he felt the sting of it, and I mean, they just come at you and come at you and come at you.
You see 5 guys right on the line of scrimmage, just 6 just below, and they're going to have to call a timeout of the Wolverines on this. They did not like that setup. It's almost like that Bears 46 kind of feel on this one. So we'll see what happens from here. Woodland calls the timeout. They're down 28-0 to Hampton County. Will they be able to mount a comeback? We'll tell you when we come back on WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week. This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week brought to you by Nissan. Experience the thrill for yourself at your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. They'll be driving home happy and right now, including Zion Dobson's dad. Yep, Dad, 22. Yes, he's a happy man right there. Zion Dobson with 3 touchdowns already for the Hampton County Hurricanes, and right now they are dominating Woodland 28-0.
Man, Pops couldn't lie about it if he wanted to. He's a spitting image.
Here we go again. Throw up top by Sally, looking deep. He had his man, overthrew him by about 5 yards on that. May have had a shot intended for Trayvon Walker, but nothing doing. Hampton County all over him. It's going to be 4th down again, 4th and 12, as continued defensive pressure has made the quarterbacks uncomfortable. A total so far now 11 plays for 11 yards for Woodland.
That's crazy. That's unheard of against a really quality team that's undefeated at this point in the season. But man, I'm still smiling about Zion's dad and how good he's feeling right now. He is on cloud 9, man.
And hopefully Zion's okay. That arm injury earlier, I mean, he hasn't been touched on the 2 touchdowns, so he doesn't have to worry about getting hit when he does that. Here is the punt out there. It's going to bounce in front and going to stay right there instead, about the 33-yard line, 33-yard line. And one more time, Hampton County will be on offense. We'll see who comes in on this at the quarterback spot.
I mean, Zion said in his senior night thing before the game that his favorite football memory is getting up every morning after a game and feeling like he got hit by a truck. So I don't think the shoulder thing is going to bother him too much.
Clearly not yet. He's back in the game, as is Chris Terry, who's going to be back in the quarterback. He drove the scores the first 3 times that they had the ball. Then Xavier Garvin was able to put the next one in, but it's really been all the running of Dobson and that line who's been pushing. A defensive line that Woodland believed was one of their strengths right now has become a weakness, has nothing doing so far on the defensive side for the Wolverines.
I believe Terry actually handed it off to Dobson on that last touchdown. I think Garvin was split out.
There you go.
Because they'll put them both in the huddle.
There's the fake. Terry's going to throw again. Looking deep. Man goes down. They will throw that flag. Ref couldn't quite get it out of his pocket in time, but that will be a flag, and that'll be a first down for Hampton County. Simone Lofties was the intended receiver, and he got nudged and knocked down on that one.
Yeah, that one got lost in my blind spot, so I couldn't really see it. I'll have to watch the replay.
Well, the replay's right now, so you get a good look at it. You see Lofties going up the middle. I believe he had a slot on that.
Oh, yeah.
Really, the defender just kind of stood in his way. It's a tough
Defense
call
number 10.
against Woodland on
15
that
yards from the previous spot,
I don't know.
and the penalty
Probably
results
tough.
in a first down.
But, you know, you get hauled down at midfield and the ball's in the air and it's high school football. I mean, if these guys were, you know, the very best at their craft, they wouldn't be doing Friday nights. They'd be doing Sundays. But
Not yet. So they're very young, Justin. They can't
Sometimes-
do that yet. But so
sometimes
far,
you-
you know, we'll see. Full service stats here from Ethan. 4 penalties, 47 yards for Woodland. So already they're about triple the number of penalty yards as they are actual yards. So it's a tough one. Here's the handoff again to Dobson. This time he's going to go no place. Swarmed down. Nice play on the middle there by multiple guys, including Cam Pringle caused that. So we haven't talked about Cam Pringle yet for Woodland. The left tackle for him, also a defensive tackle. He's the number 2 player in the entire state right now and number 2 offensive tackle in the nation.
yeah, we haven't talked about Cam Pringle because Hampton County's defensive line has eaten Woodland's offensive line for lunch thus far.
But a big man also proven what he can do. He's got 2 sacks on defense and has a pick, too, which you always like to see the big guys get that.
Yeah.
Right now, he's not seeing anything, though. There's the handoff right there. Easy one for Jordan Bovain. He's going to get down to about the 41, and that will be enough for a first down. Again, Bovain getting a lot of touches in this game.
A bunch. They want it in his hands. He's electric. He's going to be a big part of it going forward, so they know they've got to groom him.
We talked about it, too. Look at the jerseys here for Hampton County. If you're noticing, some have names, some don't. That is actually absolutely on purpose.
Yep, had to attend 18 of 22 summer workouts to earn the name on the back of the jersey. There's one time. You put in for the front of the jersey, you get the name on the back.
That's how it works. So they did that, and this team is bought in on this schedule, on this coach, and on what they can do, and they're proving it right here as we're down to 1st and 10, again at the 41-yard line, 4 wide receiver set. Looking to try to get somebody to jump off. Almost got Pringle to jump. Did Garvin on that one, but unable to. They'll go ahead and snap this, you'd figure now. Dobson moving behind him over to the right side on the shift. This time Garvin will take it himself. He'll go no place. Big stuff on the inside of that line by Antonio Ford Jr. Ford really a big man for their defense. 8 tackles for loss and 3 sacks already. Coach called him the anchor of that defense.
Well, he's an anchor for sure. He's heavy. He's short to the ground and heavy. That's what you want in nose guard. He's tough to move.
5'11", 3 bills. You know what he can do out there. So that's what his job is to do, is to occupy tacklers and then make plays just like that. And he did exactly what he needed to give his defense a little spark here. 2nd and 9, 7:48 left in the second quarter. Hampton County in the blue with the big lead. Chris Terry, the quarterback, throws it up top. He's got his man, and that's another touchdown. Hezekiah Abram with the touchdown. Hezzy, as you like to call him,
My man
with an
Hezzy.
easy one. 34-0, Hampton County.
Man, this is something else. This is not what I anticipated tonight. I thought this thing was going down to the wire.
Absolutely. We wouldn't believe 34 points with 7 minutes left here in the second quarter. Chris Terry with 2 touchdown passes as well. They love to go deep. They have the speed on the outside. Nope, they're going to bring it back. So after all that talk that we had, and you were excited to talk about Hezzy, this is what happened.
I love Hezzy. Hezzy doesn't know what happened. He doesn't understand.
I didn't catch what the referee has called at Hampton's trying to find out what they called too.
The ball came out pretty quick.
They're going to call a timeout. Coach Hanna wants to talk to the referees about this and figure this out.
We couldn't see it in that with the crop shot there, but
And
the ball came out quick. It didn't look like there was even time for a holding call.
Unless somebody was offsides. It looks like it was a 5-yard penalty, so you're
false
assuming
start.
that's some sort of false start in there.
Somebody
that they
maybe
called
moving
late.
forward at the line.
Coach Hanna's
or at
really
the snap.
asking the question, I believe, so he's saying it very nicely, though, I'm sure. So
Well, he's Canadian. He's very polite.
he's a very polite man. That's what I loved is we're doing the interview behind him. He had multiple things up there, including the Blue Jays with like Florida Gators and Mississippi State and some where obviously
South Carolina
the teams
State.
out there. South Carolina State.
He's a Bulldog.
He had a bunch of them out there, but he still had his Blue Jays ready. So they didn't quite make it this year, but they've got a shot in the future.
Loves his Jays.
So Talked about it, 27-20 bust in. You said in January for a weightlifting class. The best part was really bringing them together as a team because there could have been some dissension out here. Coach Hanna did everything he could to make sure there wouldn't be.
I think just about everybody outside of this program or those who understood what was going on inside of the program thought that it was going to be a difficult transition. And it's a credit to Coach Hanna and the staff he's assembled here that they were able to navigate what really could have been, you know, not to overstate it, but almost disastrous, you know, and they've made it into a strength. And they've really got some guys who are bought in, and the brotherhood mantra, I think, really struck the right chord for them this season.
That was the play you just saw that we thought was a touchdown, but they called it back with a 5-yard penalty. Did not hear from the referees what that was, but it would take the points off the board, so we're back to 28-0 Hampton County. One of the few things that's gone against the Hurricanes so far.
Against the Wolverines, rather.
No, going against the Hurricanes.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad.
But there's Dobson again, and again he's going to break free. Big, giant gain down inside the 30, down to the 24-yard line. Let's give him 21 more yards on that for Dobson.
I think the concept of something going against the Hurricanes was just foreign to my brain at this point. I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Because nothing has other than that penalty. You saw the pitch by Terry just in time, and Dobson not showing ill effects from that first injury that we thought he had. Got it down for another 21 yards. You said he might need 30. He might only need 15, and they might bench him by halftime.
Oh, yeah, I think at this point he's probably getting the second.
Terry's going to throw it off to the side again. That's Lofties, who did have the touchdown called back, and he's going to get down to 9 yards. Another 14, 15 yards for Lofties. And so again, first and goal for the Hampton County Hurricanes.
It's just so many guys to worry about. We haven't even said Josh Goodman's name yet, but he's electric too, and you know, probably the best basketball player in the county. And he can go get it too, and they've been covering him up, so other guys are doing it.
That was what interesting. Coach was talking about the fact that he had the basketball guys coming out, and really in part because the team was good, but they also saw what fun some of the basketball guys were having last year, so they said, well, we want to be part of this too.
Yeah, and the Woodland coach said the same thing. Coach Ford, they had the same deal with Sally and Tyree.
There's Dobson up the middle again, and Dobson runs through the crowd, finds a hole, and he's one more time in the end zone. That's 4 touchdowns for Zion Dobson with just 6 minutes left in the second quarter. He is making a statement to colleges and to every other high school in this area and the state.
Man, you ain't kidding. I mean, I've known about Zion. Obviously, we cover the Loco. We're one of the few people who are covering Hampton County at this point in the media landscape. But we've known about Zion since last year. But man, he's a different dog this year, and he's something special.
Well, this is the kind of thing, too, that people go, Coach Hanna said, I love what it does for Hampton County, what this means to bring these schools together. And then this football team is good, which will bring more people out and give them a chance to cheer on something that maybe they hadn't before. As good as Wade Hampton's been, even Estill with an 11-2 last year, they were sort of ignored by a lot of people because of the distance it is from some major cities so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's out in the sticks, and people don't come out here, and there's not much coverage, but the broadband's terrible. We got to get better rural broadband out here. But you know, it's been really good. There was another big story in Hampton County that you covered a little bit. I think that folks are excited for something else to talk about.
Something other than that, absolutely. You know, other than a Murdoch, you like to see a Dobson instead. So
there's the bell.
There's the bell for everybody.
Monte ringing the bell with his club on.
And everybody's ringing it right now. Zion Dobson, 12 carries, 150 yards and 4 touchdowns on this one. There is the kickoff, maybe the best one so far by Hampton, but it's picked up right there by Tyree Edwards, and Edwards is going to get it down all the way to the 50-yard line. So once again, Woodland in good field position. We'll see exactly what they can do with it from there, because so far the smothering defense has made sure nothing's going on, and then on top of it, they got a holding penalty.
I think so. We got a flag anyway.
We'll see what the call is.
I would assume it's a holdout there, but it could be a face mask on the tackle.
Foul, grasping and twisting the face mask. Return team number 2.
So interesting. You don't see offensive face masks that much, but that's exactly what happened there. An offensive face mask penalty. So instead of the 50, they're going to be all the way back at the 30-yard line. So again, Woodland really just having trouble, can't get out of their own way on some of these things.
1 step forward, 2 steps back right now.
I'm not sure if we'll get a good look at it here. We may. He came back pretty late in the play. Cooper Glazer back at quarterback for Woodland. And they will pitch the ball one more time, this time to Tyrell Sampson. Sampson, just nothing. Kayvon Chisholm all over it.
Kayvon just suplexed him. My goodness. Coach Myers told me that the other day at practice, Zion took the pitch and he saw Kayvon got by his man and was standing in the hole. And Zion just dropped the ball and turned around and said, "Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it."
Officially, I believe that was more of a rock bottom than a suplex, but that's okay.
Yeah,
so,
it did look kind of like a rock bottom.
But here's Cooper Glazer again at quarterback after a gain of 2 on that play for Edwards, and it's going to be the pitch on the inside. That's a big positive play, but another stick that they're getting on that one. Huge pop by Zaymon Lofties again. So he almost catches a touchdown, catches a couple passes, and then sticks him on the inside. That's Keon Britt.
Ooh. Yeah, and then Loco put a little shoulder shiver on him too. Malachi Green, double whammy. Man, they're laying some wood out there tonight.
They're fired up right now. They know this defense. They're going to be able to pin their ears back and really go after Woodland. Cam Pringle on that right side really not making a difference because they're not able to go very far with the ball. And here's the handoff short again, trying to get that first down, and the push forward.
Nope.
Little short on that one. We'll see. I would assume Woodland will go for this.
Big Dan Anderson in there again. It's hard to push the pile with Big Dan Anderson in the middle.
Anderson is a big pusillanimity, but he's a skilled guy too, which is what's interesting.
He's very athletic, and his footwork is good. I wish they had a wrestling program here, man. He would be a monster 285 guy if he could make the weight.
Interesting, down 34-0.
Well, I mean, why not? What's it going to do? Get worse?
They're going to punt.
Oh, I thought they were going to go for it. I couldn't see him.
Yeah, they got the extra point on that
He was in my blind spot. It didn't.
So,
compute.
yeah, they're going to go ahead and punt on 4th and 1 again. A high snap, and again, the punter under duress is able to escape. That may be the highlight. While he hasn't gotten enough big punts, he's at least gotten some positives out of that to knock him down to the 27-yard line.
He's easily the MVP.
By far for Woodland, absolutely. So, Hampton County, 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. Simple enough. You don't have to say much more than that. 4 minutes left in the second. They've been able to run when they want, and if there are a couple big passes that have made a big difference.
Does Woodland have a first down? One first down? Yeah, I mean, this is just total domination. I did not anticipate this.
Well, I don't think anybody could have looked at this. You look at 2 teams in the top 10, basically 6 and 9 in that range. And Hampton County, I don't think anybody knew what they really had walking in this year because they were combined as schools for the first time. And now we may be finding out exactly what they have. And, you know, the region, we're going to have a lot of time to talk about the region and what this means long term. But short term, this is a huge boost for a Hampton County team that could go a long, long way.
Yeah, I mean, Loco Sports, we definitely knew what they had coming in because we covered both of those teams in the playoffs last year. And so we were talking all year about, oh, wow, when you meld these things together, this could be special.
Well, so you're seeing what Hampton County can do. What tonight on WSAV on the Blitz right now. We've got a lot of great games out here. Justin, there's some good ones, Loco and the Savannah area. Benedictine at Southeast Bullock. We watched them just a couple weeks ago. They were an interesting team. Benedictine really just rolling right now. Valdosta, Richmond Hill, very interesting. Valdosta is a great team. Richmond Hill believes they can still win. Hilton Head Prep, Pinewood Prep, Hilton Head out there. Mixed bag on them so far, Justin. I think they've had some good teams and some not so good days.
Yeah. Hilton Head, man, they're just kind of walking wounded right now. They were a little thin. Even when they came here, they looked more like a 2A school than Hampton did as far as the roster size, and they just don't have enough guys anymore.
BJ really had hopes and believed he had something, but with the number of kids he had, unfortunately, it's not worked out. You know, Hilton Head Christian, not maybe the best year they've had, but if they can get in the playoffs, they are dangerous.
Hey, man, they started 0-2. They've won 5 in a row, and I think they look like a real contender in skis at 3A.
Be interesting to see if they face Thomas Hayward again for about the 9th time in a row. It feels like they always seem to end up in the playoffs against one another. There's the run up the middle again. Dobson. Dobson's going to break free again. Break 2 more tackles. Finally bumped down after a gain of 17 yards. The tackle on that one by Trayvon Tate. He's one of those basketball players from Woodland right now. But it doesn't matter. This is football, and this is Zion Dobson's game. Look at the cutback again.
Zion's world. We're just living in it.
Absolutely. pretty amazing to see. You know, we heard how good he was. You can see numbers, but numbers don't show you how good this running back really is.
Yeah, he's special.
There's a handoff again, and again to Dobson. He's going to get it down for about 7 more. That's a low number for him.
I mean, what do we say? You know, like there's not much there, just a little crevice, but he hits it so hard, and he's so slippery, and the next thing you know, he's got 7 yards.
So far, Ottawa, Kansas, and North Greenville have offered him. Georgia Southern is interested, though, which I think could be a really good fit for him. Also local on this one. We're hoping games like this and against a really good team, you've got to assume that could get him some more offers.
I would think so. I mean, he's a Division I player for me, but he's not a D1 or bust guy.
He's again down to the 31-yard line, maybe the 30 on that. Another huge burst for 16 yards. Dobson cannot be stopped.
No. He believes he's a Division I player, and I do too, but he also understands that for him, you know, he's a high academic achiever as well. For him, it's about leveraging an opportunity to play football for 4 more years into 40 or 50 years of a career that sets him up for life.
Absolutely. I mean, get the education, which to figure out what you need to do from there. But I think a lot of teams are going to watch him and see what he can do because he's showing speed and strength, which is what you're looking for, and also durability as he keeps punching through it. No one's going to stop him, and he's gone again.
Yeah, just send in this highlight reel, man. Forget about it.
Touchdowns in the first half for Zion Dobson, and every one of them who's been contacted at least once at the line and not gone down. We'll see here. There's a man down on this one of the Woodland players. In the meantime, though, Dobson is, I mean, showing out, maybe an understatement for everybody.
This guy got hurt in the first quarter.
We thought he was going to be hurt and maybe not come back.
This is unbelievable.
Man down on this one for Woodland. Looking at the number, I believe that's Xavier Green, the senior lineman. Dobson, I mean, you said he's academic, he's got skill. I mean, watch the hole that he's able to slide through and just push a guy out of the way. I want to see, I think we need to show that highlight one more time to show what Dobson did to the tackler on this one. Oh. Guys in the truck, you're going to have to give me this one more time because I don't know the last time I've seen somebody lay somebody out like this who's only 5'7", 5'8". Watch him push and watch him just stick him and go. And then one more time there and no wrap up and it's done.
See you, son.
So that's number 40 who actually got run over by Dobson. We do not have him on the roster right now, so we'll see who that turns out to be.
16, 223, and 5.
16, 223, 5 touchdowns from our stats guy, Ethan. That's pretty amazing right now.
If he gets the 30 we predicted, he'll be over, 460?
Oh,
he's banging the heck out of that bell now.
He's banging it with the right arm, you notice. That left arm's still down there, but he doesn't care. He'll hold on to it as long as necessary. 42-0, Hampton County. I'm not sure if there are words to express.
No, I'm out of them. I'm out of them. I didn't prepare words for this.
So you better not be out because we got more time to cover. But, I mean, this is a team, Hampton County wanted it, needed it, but also believed they were at least equals with Woodland, if not a little bit better. Not 42-0 better.
Yeah, I mean, I said today on our preview show that I thought it was going to be a want-to game. Whoever really showed the desire and the want-to the most was going to just barely get over the top against the other one. But, man, Hampton brought a whole lot of want-to, and whatever Woodland brought with it was left in the parking lot, it looks like.
There's the kickoff down to the 25, picked up there by Tyree Edwards. Edwards trying to break a tackle. He's actually going to lose 7 yards, 6 or 7 on that one. The tackle by Mandrell Sanders, who's the linebacker, looking to get more offers, and he's everywhere. He's a starting linebacker. He's got the most tackles on the team. And, oh, by the way, he plays special teams, too. 62 tackles, 93 last year. He's on pace to blow that away.
Yeah, Woodland saw the hurricane warning, and they thought, yeah, we can handle a Category 1. We'll be all right. We don't need to put up the shutters.
This is a Cat 5.
We got a Cat 5, boys.
Dead ball, personal foul.
Personal foul.
Defense.
This time on Hampton.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, this is, I was going to say maybe a Cat 4, but by the time they put up the 42nd, I think it's Cat 5 now. This is hold on to the tree and hope it doesn't fly away.
Yeah,
so
Jim Cantori already cleared out, man. It was too dangerous.
it really was. It's pretty crazy to even look at this score and realize where we are in this game and what's going on. So here we are back with Woodland. This is again going to be Gervais Sally, I believe, will be in the game. He's going to be a wide receiver. It's still going to be Cooper Glazer back as your quarterback. Nope, Sally's going to be the quarterback instead. Next to him, TJ Wright. They hand off, though, on the jet sweep to Edwards. Edwards will get around the corner on this one, and he's going to get another first down, only the second of the entire game, gaining about 12 on that, right down to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you can get back in this game because I don't think Hampton's going to give up 42 all season. But, I mean, in a game. I don't think they've given up 42 total all season, though. But for Woodland at this point, you just want to keep playing. I mean, you just want to keep competing and hope that you can take something away from it going into next week.
Well, you're looking at positioning, too. I mean, you still want that 2 seed. You're going to have to keep going, and Barnwell's still in front of you. They're no slouch. Here's the pass on the outside. Edwards. It's dropped on this one by Woodland.
The other thing is, I don't know what the region tiebreaker situation is if, say, Barnwell knocks off Hampton, but Woodland beats Barnwell and you get in that 3-way tie situation. It's usually a point differential thing. I don't know what the cap is, but you want to try to get back inside that cap, so you got a shot at getting a tiebreaker.
We're still a couple games away. Hampton's got a bye week and 2 more games left for them before we even start talking about playoffs. Woodland's got 3 left. This is only their second road game of the entire year, and they're back at home again next year, so their schedule is certainly favorable to keep doing well. However, in the meantime, the Hurricanes are dominating them while they're on the road.
Yeah, that was a dicey scheduling decision to only have 1 road game before this one.
Toss on the outside, this time Tyrell Sampson. Sampson, there will be a flag and probably a hold on the outside there. Sampson's going to get 5, but I think that's going to come back. Sampson's a guy they were really counting on. He's got 162 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. There's the hold.
Yeah, I think they held Sanders. That's how they were able to get a few yards.
Again, Sampson, 162 and 3 touchdowns on the ground, too. Coach says he does a little bit of everything, and, you know, everything is what they need right now just to get things moving.
In the back,
was really just
offense number 20. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul.
Straight up tackle from behind.
So not a hold, technically a block in the back. Same general feeling on that one instead.
Same difference.
So it'll be 2nd and 20 here. 2:19 left here in the first. Coach Ford kind of has that look on his face like, well, we'll call whatever we can and hope maybe we can put 7 on the board and say, let's start it all over again.
It's a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling.
Oh, it's got to be. I can only imagine what it's like to be the coach on the other side right now. With everything
you got to keep coaching.
There's Sampson instead. Handoff up the middle to White. Nothing doing for Wright. Seeger in the middle on that one. Corey Seeger, nothing doing on that. Wright walking into this game had almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, plus 2 touchdowns receiving. They called him the hammer so far. He's getting hammered by this D-line instead. He's a state weightlifting champ, though. At the same point, he benched 350. He squatted 545.
Yeah, I listened to your interview on the way over here and heard that and was like, hold up. Rewind. I have to hear that again.
Maybe you and I together with a bar and Ethan and maybe 2 of the truck guys could get that up.
Not a chance.
Yeah, Wright, who was counting on it almost 1,000 yards, only 4 so far on 6 carries. The toss to the outside. Quick play for about 7 on that. So it'll be 4th and 15, and you expect another punt. No, they are, right now they're leaving the offense on the field. No. There's some indecision on what's going on.
I mean, it's kind of dicey. Like, if you go for it with a minute 9 and you don't get, or inside a minute you don't get it, Zion will score on the next play. So.
Well, Cooper Glazer's still on the field. I think they're going to call a timeout instead.
On the one hand, you have to go for it, but on the other hand...
Well, they didn't go for it on 4th and 1 earlier. I don't think 4th and 15 is going to be the one they're thinking of, but I think they're going to run this clock as far down as possible, then call a timeout. That's what Coach Ford is standing next to the referees. You see that happen.
Yeah. He's ready to get to the second half and let the clock run, I think.
He's got a really good, I was impressed with him talking to him about what he had to offer and what it means to the kids and trying to get them a chance at college football, but also that this is a high school experience that he wants them to have too. Whether no matter what you're playing for the sport, you want to play for your team and make friends and do everything else while you're here.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him and his mindset and mentality and priorities.
Well, speaking of priorities, my priority is to sit on the couch and watch this one tomorrow night. USC, Notre Dame. Notre Dame struggled, lost to Louisville last week, so you know this one means even more. USC with an explosive offense with maybe the #1 pick in the entire draft. Oh, by the way, Notre Dame needs this one more, and it's at home.
And Notre Dame has loco legend Jalen Sneed from Hilton Head.
Maybe
he'll make a play on Caleb Williams.
He's getting a lot of playing time right now. You know, interesting, Marcus Freeman, I got to meet him, last year. Thought he's a great emotional kind of guy. It's tough to put things together. They brought in a quarterback. They've done everything they can. Now, by the way, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch because USC can't stop anybody.
No, they couldn't stop Arizona.
So there we go. 4th and 15. Speaking of stop, Hampton's looking for one more stop with 21 seconds left because Woodland's going to go for it on 4th and 15. Again, Jaquise Sally as quarterback. He's going to drop back. He's under a lot of pressure. And Kayvon Chisholm's throwing him down for the big sack. And again, Hampton's County defense comes up with a huge play.
I think Kayvon gets to carry the hammer out next week or next game.
He's doing a nice job on that D-line. By the way, he's a tight end as needed on the other side, too. Nothing doing for Sally. Good coverage in the back, but it didn't matter because Chisholm was on him before he could do anything. Hampton right back on offense and a chance maybe to make this amazingly 49 potentially before this is over.
Yeah, I know Kayvon's Pops is proud, too. I saw him, he was behind me in line at Rigdon's Fried Chicken before the game.
This man is obsessed with Rigdon's Fried Chicken.
Bro, I've been there twice in my life, but I'll never drive through Hampton without eating there again.
The corn nuggets were something to behold.
It is so good.
There we go. Even Jerry and Dan from the truck, they went there and they give it a big thumbs up from what I'm hearing on
I hope they got the corn nuggets.
On the line. You had to get the corn nuggets. That's impressive. So
DJ Payne did not steer me wrong on that.
Okay, here's Xavier Garvin, who's back at quarterback. Garvin going to fake the handoff. He's going to take it himself. Going around the outside. He's going to get down to about the 29-yard line and out of bounds. Thrown down on that sideline.
Coach got a little more than he wanted over there on the sideline.
Coach didn't want any part of that, unfortunately. So
you don't want to tangle with a guy wearing pads and a helmet.
So that Garvin, we said, just breakaway speed. They were hoping to see how far he could go. You're looking at a kicker right now, Ray Sullivan, who's only tried one field goal in the year. Oh, there may be another flag on this.
Yeah, he's mostly a PAT guy, but that's because they just punch it in. They don't need.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 27.
Seconds left.
15-yard penalty, and the penalty results in a first down.
One more, and then maybe kick a field goal here.
Timeouts too, so you can even throw it in the middle of the field if you have to.
So Garvin gets to the outside. We'll take a good look here and see what happens. Turned him with the right arm on the outside and said the inside you couldn't see it. The right arm you could see immediately, and the refs called it. So here's Garvin again at quarterback. And again, Hampton County threatening the fake handoff. Garvin will take it himself. He'll get around the corner. Does he have the corner speed? He cuts back inside.
Yes.
Again, and he'll go in for the score. There's no stopping this hurricane. Call it off. Call the National Weather Service. Call Jim Cantori. Call anybody you want. Nobody is stopping Hampton County right now.
Call in FEMA.
Anybody.
It's a disaster.
Not if you're a Hampton County fan, because you're up 48-0 before halftime.
I mean, I thought there was a chance that they were a little flat after a big homecoming win last week, big party after the game, but no chance, man. They were fired up, set on go, and this team's really starting to gel. This is a special group.
They're set on go. They're at double speed, whatever you need to make them, because I don't know if I've seen, especially in such a short period of time, an offensive show like we're seeing right now.
This is
it's been both sides. It's been passing and it's been running. It's been two quarterbacks. It's been a running back who is doing nothing but dominating every time he touches the ball. And suddenly, you're looking at the ninth team in the state who's down by 7 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything like this. This is
Ringing the bell one more time. That bell may be broken by the time we're done at the rate we're going.
Bell goes on the road. Bell goes on the road. They take it with them. They
Well,
ring it on the road.
It may
It's
not
great.
work anymore after this.
Oh, no, it's a sturdy bell. Been around a long time.
Soothing touch kickoff. The only thing I'm worried about now is Emmanuel Barco Santiago. His poor leg. He's kicked the ball off 7 times.
One time got rid of his Irvin jersey. It's getting too hot out there. He's getting too hot. Man, this is the place to be on Friday nights, brother. It's good times out here.
See, I may have been right because you know what? Santiago not kicking this
Yeah,
one.
he got tired.
He's tired. He's an
Gotta
offensive
rest.
lineman. He's kicking multiple times. You can't have him keep doing this.
No,
Nope,
here he
is.
comes. You know,
Now
he's
he
good
wants
at it, though. They've trained him well to pop it up and hit it to that soft spot in the middle.
I mean,
and he does a really good job.
That's the other thing.
Very
You're not
consistent.
looking like he's kicking Woodland down to the 1. They're getting the ball at the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
They're just not gaining any yards.
Well, I mean, this guy's not a kicker. Look at him. They just taught him how to kick off.
How dare you say that? So, he's a kicker.
Dude, he's a kicker, but I mean, like, he's not prototypical.
Tyree
He's
Edwards
kinda
here
not
has
good.
some room. Can he get all the way, though? No, he will get thrown out of bounds just before the 50.5. Well, to remember, for Hampton County Hurricane fans, 49, I said again, 49-0. We've got a halftime show with lots of good stuff for you and a whole lot of highlights to play for you at halftime, too. So stick with us right here on the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week. This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Nissan. Experience the thrill for yourself at your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. So right now, Hampton County clapping. Well, they should. They should be applauding themselves for one of the best first halves maybe I've seen in high school football in a decade.
Man, that was a machine. That was a pretty impressive performance.
49-0 there. Hampton County leading Woodland at the half. Andrew Davis here with Justin Jarrett. I mean, Justin, you can't talk about much anything, but the highlights go straight to him because really it was a show beyond anything, and it was all this man, Zion Dobson.
Yeah, and the 5 guys in front of him who are content to do the dirty work and let him take the credit.
Absolutely. Dobson there with the run. Then Dobson breaking a tackle there. He'll go ahead into the end zone for the first touchdown. Oh, I said first, and we're far from done with Zion Dobson on this one. You talked about the big guys in the middle. Watch the pitch on the outside again to Dobson. And again, he'll fly all the way in the end zone. Again, Darryl Causey, Emmanuel Barco Santiago, Tajay Wright, DeMonte Mathis, Daniel Anderson are the big guys, and boy, they're doing a heck of a job opening a hole.
Yeah, and then Hezekiah Abram there on the wide out, making the seal in the block. But then you've got, Jalen Singletary. Oh, man, he jumped that thing. That was pretty.
The defense, total yards right now so far for Woodland, 25 on the day. Meanwhile, Hampton has 385 of those, 223 by that man, Zion Dobson, 16 carries, 223, 5 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, Chris Terry also is 5 of 8 for 79 and a touchdown. And then you had Garvin right here. He was able to push it in, and he was able to go ahead and score as well, just because somebody else had to. Xavier Garvin with that, and we're at 49-0 Hampton County. I mean, you look at the domination, 306 rushing yards, 79 passing. You know, the penalties, there wasn't a control point that they haven't lost in this game.
No, they're doing whatever they want, and they're doing it on both sides of the ball. I mean, it's total domination.
So really, you're looking now at a situation where both teams want to stay healthy, number one, because this game is already out of hand. But, you know, you work on some things. I think if you're Woodland and Hampton, you know, who goes in at quarterback? Do you get some reps for some of these other guys out here? You'd think Dobson sits the rest of the way because they don't seem to be in danger. Man's not sitting. Our guy right there, Gabriel. I like to call him Gabe. Just
Emmanuel?
because. Emmanuel. Gabriel Emmanuel.
E54.
E54.
There he goes. He got into that one. Oh, he's going to have to do a do-over.
Oh, come on. His leg is tired. Emmanuel Barco Santiago. I called him Gabe. I don't know why, but Emmanuel Barco Santiago over there has now kicked off the ball 8 times. Now he's going to be a 9th time.
E-Man is his nickname.
Plays
on the
soccer, too.
team.
That's
I
a
figured he
large
played
man
soccer.
to play soccer, though. Look at the size
yeah.
of him. How did you like that coming at you?
I'm guessing midfield. midfield.
Maybe.
Just stay in the middle, holding midfielder, just beast it up.
I don't know how much air he gets as a defender to block any of those
No,
things.
I think he uses his body probably pretty significantly.
Most likely here. And there's the kickoff one more time. Short pick up to the 31, and again up to the 43-yard line. Trayvon Walker has returned all of those kicks so far, and he got it to the 43. That's where the Wolverines will start this drive. So if you're the Wolverines, just put something together. Look to get some rhythm maybe on offense, because as we said, your season's far from over. You have 3 games left. They're all region games, and you need to try to get at least to a 2 seed, if not more.
Yeah, and the reality is you came in here thinking you're like 50-50 to come out with a loss anyway, right? So if you're going to lose the game, you're going to lose the game. But take something with you that can be a positive going into next week, because the next one matters.
Absolutely. If you see that clock running right now and go, there's a mistake. Nope, there is no mistake. It is running clock in the second half because of the domination by Hampton in the first. So it will be a quick moving second half throughout the whole way. Cooper Glazer is your quarterback. He's the senior. He's going to throw it up and over top of his wide receiver, who was blanketed by 2 people, including James Dunham right there and Malik Terry.
Yeah, just not much there all night long. I mean, they get on you quick, and then they hit you a few times early, and they get you kind of spooked, and you get it out of there a little quicker than you should, and you're just a little jumpy. And that's the way they do it. Bybee was real shaky when they played out here. They just get you spooked early with that real intensity on defense.
Well, so much pressure, too. And, I mean, how many, looking at 8 guys in front of the line, 5 yards or less, because they haven't had the time to do anything. Again, it's stuffed. One more time, T.J. Wright, was really, really good all year long, has negative yardage basically on the day, or very close to it. In this one, as multiple guys are going to take him down. I mean, Hampton's got 8 guys within 5 yards because they know they're getting so much pressure. It'll never mess with them. Good tackle on that one. First hit, and then the tackle by Malik Terry, getting some extra help from Anderson on that one before that.
Yeah, they just don't give you time to think. You're on the ground, and this grass out here must taste bad or something, because they throw you into it a couple times, and you're just scared. You don't want to go into it again.
No, and Cooper Glazer again back in the shotgun this time, maybe hoping for a little bit of time. He's got 3 wide receivers set out to his left side. He's going to roll a little bit that way, but he's under pressure one more time, and multiple guys on him. We'll give credit first on that one to Malachi Green, and then cleaning up the mess was Kayvon Chisholm. They get a half for each of them, but no chance for Cooper Glazer to do anything with that ball, and they're going to have to punt one more time.
Malachi wrapped up the legs, and Kayvon took the top half. Not a fun sandwich to be in the middle of. Goodness.
Yeah, Cooper's going to have nightmares about Chisholm
Kayvon came out with the ball, but that was because he bounced the guy off the turf.
I mean, you look at Coach Ford right there, or some of the coaches out there, and there's not much you can say.
You think we don't know what to say? Think about Coach Ford.
He's the guy who said, my offensive line and my defensive line are the dominant forces on my team. Well, the offensive line is getting dominated by the Hampton defensive line, and his defensive line has given up almost or more than 300 yards rushing so far.
What are you doing, son? Peter.
You know he can't hear you, Justin.
No, I know. I'm a coach, though. I can't help it. I can't help it.
That was
I'm a baseball coach, but still.
Jordan Beauvais. Yeah, say you're a baseball coach, and you're telling him to get away from the ball. That doesn't work so well, Justin.
No, but you got to do that in football.
But Jordan Beauvais on that one, who started all these drives really with a couple nice plays early on, hasn't been seen because it's all Zion Dobson from there. We'll look at who comes in now. Dobson's still in the game, which is a little surprising, I'd have to say, up 49-0.
Yeah, a little bit.
But multiple guys, I think you're going to see a whole slew of new players here for both teams as they probably rest a few guys as they look at what's going on.
Yeah, you'll often see, though, the starters stay in for the third quarter just to get the reps, and then the fourth quarter you'll call it off.
There's the handoff on the jet sweep to Desmond Mathis. Mathis will get about 3 or 4 on that one, maybe 5.
Lil D, that's one of one time's little grandsons, DeMonte and Desmond.
There you go. They're both out there playing and playing hard so far. So we were talking about it before as we continue on with this game and the Hampton County seemingly domination with 8 minutes left. So this region is tough to begin with. Hampton's going to take the early lead over Woodland here with still Barnwell to play, who could be in play for this. but you're looking at a situation where they want the first seed because you could get three straight home games in the playoffs.
Right, yeah, no, it's huge. You need that #1 seed. You also avoid Oceanside Collegiate for another round. That's the team that took out both of these teams in the playoffs last year. They're kind of the team you have to go through in the lower state. You still have to beat them up there, but, you know, if you buy another round, maybe if you're the 1 seed, maybe the 2 seed from your region knocks them off and you don't have to see them. You get a home game against your rival in a rematch.
Zion Dobson with about 5 on that one. Now he's coming off the field. Probably smart for coach since he was dinged up earlier on. So, yeah, Hampton and Woodland both said they want a piece of Oceanside, in part because they're not as good this year, they don't believe, as they were last year. But Hampton right now putting on a show, proving they may be this good. Here's the handoff on the outside one more time to Jordan Bovain, showing that speed. He'll get all the way out to the 45-yard line.
Some great patience there, too, to just pick his way and cut back and find holes and just get a couple more and a couple more and a couple more.
That'll be 12 yards and a first down. Bovain, a couple broken tackles would be the other thing I'd look at from a Woodland perspective, but also more from a Hampton perspective that they've been stiff-arming and pushing the tackles away so far.
Zion didn't break a couple of those so much as just destroy them.
Yeah, that's also true. Zion looking to maybe be sitting out for a little bit. I think that's probably a wise move with
they've got Jameel Bobine in there now. He was really effective little back for Estill last year.
And he's got a big hole again. That offensive line, it's going to be flung out of bounds. He did fumble, which is not going to make the coaches happy as they're looking at that, but he did get a bunch of yards before that happened.
That's a little bit of a thing for him. He's risk-reward guy. He's going to make some huge plays. He's really quick. But, you know, got a little careless with the football.
But the size of the hole that he ran through, the ball actually pushed back, so he only gets 5 after the fumble, really, on that.
I don't like the dry fit sleeves on the running back. That feels like a fumble waiting to happen.
Interesting there to figure that out. Some like it, some don't. So, but that's maybe why you're not a running back in Hampton County right now.
Well, just on a running back, it feels like it would just be a little too
It is true. Usually you don't see the running backs and the wide receivers with those dry fit sleeves. You begin to wonder what it is. So here's a handoff on the outside again to Desmond Mathis. Mathis will get 5 plus to almost 10. About 9 yards on the carry right there, and another first down for Hampton County.
Not as much pink as you used to see in October. We got a few guys rocking the pink, but it's not as widespread as it used to be.
Well, you know, once you get to the 3rd game of October, too, which we're in, then some maybe have done it early.
Might have some runs in your socks by now.
You don't know. It's a lot of stuff, but a lot of pink still here. Of course, for breast cancer awareness, we always appreciate the players doing that and supporting the cause because it affects so many different people. The cheerleaders, look at this. We don't even need this. This is the band out here. They've got the pink. They've got lunch. They got a little everything for there. They're celebrating right now. So here's the pitch.
Club hooks it up with the food out here.
Here's the pitch on the outside to Dylan Tubbs. Tubbs will get down. I'm sorry, not Dylan Tubbs. We'll give that to Tyler Davis. Davis will go ahead and get maybe 1. Speaking of food, the cheerleaders eating out there, thank the Booster Club for our burgers at halftime, too.
Yeah,
quite tasty.
It.
Always good to get a good cheeseburger in between the first and second half to get our energy to make our way through.
I'm told a great spot after the game is the Hurricane Sports Cafe.
There you go.
So if you're sticking around town after the game, go check it out.
There's a lot of places here. Hampton County hopefully growing by leaps and bounds eventually here. So they're starting one place at a time, and they're all good.
About to give me a little piece of land out here. Just have a little farmhouse so I can get away to every now and then. I like it out here.
You may be an honorary Hampton County citizen at this point.
I think I can run for mayor.
Here's the run instead for number 24, Chase Manigault on that one. Chase Manigault with that. He's the first carry of the day, and there is a player down for for Woodland. Chance Green, the linebacker.
You know, we were talking about that. We'll take a break, but afterwards I'll tell you about the Hampton County defense and what they've done to some really good, effective runners this year.
All right, we'll find out about that when we come back. 3:50 left in the third quarter, 49-0. Hampton County leads Woodland right here on the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week. This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Soothing Touch Massage. Located in Port Wentworth, we're available 7 days a week to help you feel your best. Right now, the feelings are all with Hampton County in a big lead, 49-0. You see right there, number 11, Chance Green for Woodland, who's able to get off the field under his own power, which is good news here. In the meantime, Hampton County really offensively just putting on a show with their running game, more than 300-plus yards of rushing in the first half alone, and continuing that here into the second with multiple other guys. We'll talk about the defense in a minute when they get back on defense, but at this rate, Hampton County never thinks they're going to be on defense the way their offense is running.
They don't stay. We haven't been able to talk about them because they're only on defense for 3 plays at a time.
Exactly. So here's Xavier Garvin back in at quarterback. He's going to fake it, and he's going to run it himself, and he's got a big chunk of change, but there's a flag right at the middle, which you have to assume is holding. So while it looks like a touchdown, it will have to be called back.
Offense number 55.
Holding on the offense,
10-yard
right on the
penalty for the
interior
previous
there.
spot.
Multiple
Third
guys
down.
in the middle, 55, 58. A few guys, I don't want to call anybody out. Drake DeLoach looks like in there probably, among others that probably got caught on that one.
Yeah, it happens. Happens most plays. They just don't see it.
Depends on how blatant it would be. And
that's right.
Devontae
And if
Mathis,
you actually get beat. Right.
Couple extra linemen in there, too. A couple new linemen for everybody along with the starters.
Yeah, they'll mix some guys in here. I mean, they don't have enough depth, really, to as a two-way school to run in a whole platoon, but they can mix some guys in.
That's what we were talking about, too, with Coach Hanna, was Wade Hampton had 40 guys on the team last year, but really only played 17. Tossed to the outside quickly over to Desmond Mathis. Mathis will get about 2, maybe 3, and that's where it'll be 4th down. But they had 40 guys on the team, but he said, we really only played about 17.
Yeah, like 17, 18.
Now the sideline is filled with players and actual players. He said he's got probably 8 offensive linemen he could play at any point and feels comfortable with them in the game, along with probably 5 different skill players.
Yeah, he's got a number of guys he can mix in there. And clearly you want to start to get some of those guys some reps because they're going to have to step into bigger roles next year, and you want them to see what it looks like at the varsity level and against a top-shelf region opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Terry, the quarterback, while Garvin's in right now, only a junior himself. Couple of the guys they're going to lose, and he's not sure if they can be better, but he's not worried about next year. He's worried about this year because he believes this is the best team they've had in the entire area, obviously, because they're a merged school for the first time. Garvin will drop back to pass on this one on 4th down and throw it up the grounds, and it will be caught for a first down by Mathis, and Mathis will get down all the way to the 10-yard line on this. A nice throw up top. Mathis holding his head a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. He is okay.
Might be mad he didn't
10.
get to the end zone.
I think he
that's
wanted
all
the
it
touchdown.
was. I think that's all it was right there.
So we'll see. But a nice rollout here to the opposite side by Garvin, and able to find his man Mathis, who just couldn't break that last tackle.
It's a pretty dang good pass on the run, rolling the other way.
That's not bad. Garvin, I mean, they said both guys have skill at quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
They can be interchangeable, and you really do go with a hot hand theory. Yep. Terry's had the hot hand for most of the first half, but Garvin, by the way, had a touchdown in the first half, too.
And I think this is as much about just getting Garvin some reps so that when they do need to go to it in a big spot, he's done it a little bit more.
Big play there by Woodland, DJ Blanding, among other guys. He had a good first half, one of the few. Donovan Miles in there, too. Had 4 or 5 tackles, but really, other than that, nobody stopped them for the whole time.
No, not much of anybody, especially when Zion was in there.
So we said, I mean, 3 home games potentially in the playoffs for the winner of this region, the way this is set up this time. That could be huge for a Hampton County team who will pack them in now, too. Now that they've seen this, now that they see what their team can do, it means a lot to this area.
Yeah, no question.
Here's Garvin is going to hand it off again, this time to 24. That's Chase Manigault, and Manigault will go in for the score for Hampton County. So another guy scores this time, Chase Manigault on that one. Nice job by him.
Looked a lot like Zion Dobson in that one, didn't he?
Well, the number may change, but the plays stay the same, I think, is what you're looking at here. And he just was able to fight off a couple tackles and get right in the end zone.
Man. They're just whatever they want, doing whatever they want.
Well, we talked about Oceanside. We talked about Barnwell's really the challenge left for Hampton. Oh, fake.
Oh. That was
that's
a
a
fake,
throw
too.
to the offensive lineman, no, to one of the
It's
guys on
Jazz.
that. Jasmine Goins on this one for the 2-point conversion. I don't know if that was a bad snap or a planned fake.
I think that was a planned fake. It looked like
Tough-
it. Otherwise, why would Jazz even be out there?
Tough call to be up 55-0 and get a planned fake, though. I hate to think that necessarily,
I
but
don't know, man. That's interesting.
that's an interesting call. So I'm hoping it's.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes people said some things last year that you don't know about. You know, I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Well, coaches did talk to one another and nicely before the game that I saw when I was out there on the field, but you don't know what it means exactly, and both had nice things to say about each other. But
It was a fun play, though.
it was a fun play. You're correct.
I've always loved the fake extra point where the holder pulls it and rolls out. That's fun.
So 36 seconds left here in the third quarter. Multiple new guys on the field for Woodland. You just saw Ocasio Teal on the soothing touch kickoff. He'll be back deep. None of the deep guys have touched it so far. Every time it's been Trayvon Walker. There's Emmanuel Barcos Santiago. Again, lining it up for the kickoff. His right leg may be longer than his left by the end of this day, the way he's kicking the ball so many times.
He swings it pretty hard. It's probably elongating a little bit each time. Gonna have to go
This
get
time
his
he
hip
will get it
sockets
all the way to the deep
reset.
side. And that's our man, Ocasio Teal, right there, and he's thrown down to the turf.
Seeger's is a dog, man. He's mean.
Yeah, Cody Seegers threw him down there with 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. So a few new guys in for Woodland as they look to get some time for maybe some of the freshmen and sophomores. Meanwhile, Hampton County with the majority of their #1 defense. You said pizza party for a shutout.
That's right.
I'm looking at basically their full defense out here right now. Maybe one guy, maybe one or two. Jasmine Goins out there on the line, so he's replacing somebody. And also looking at, Malachi Green. I mean, most of this #1 defense still out there.
I got to get that pizza party. They want the pizza.
Here's the pass up top. Will get all thrown off to the corner. Looked like it could have been trouble. Instead, it's picked clean there for about 11 by Keontae Britt on the catch. And that's how we'll end the third quarter with another touchdown by Hampton County. 57-0. The Hurricanes beating up on the Wolverines. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter and much more on the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week. This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. Well, right now, this whole game has been brought to you by the running game of Hampton County. The Hurricanes dominating with, yes, 57-0 on this. The first down right now by Woodland was actually only their 4th of the game, according to Ethan, our stat guy, who's been very busy in the first half. Not quite as busy in the second as they keep running, though. Moving on here, another toss over the middle. Oh, good catch on run there by Keontae Britt. Britt's going to get a big chunk of yardage, about 25 at least by the time he's finished, as Woodland now putting on a little bit of a show. Good toss there by Gervais Sally.
Pizza party in a bit of jeopardy here. We're across midfield.
This is one of those in the NFL, they'd probably kick a field goal at some point. So, you know, instead to try to ruin their pizza party. But I don't think the NFL guys have a pizza party for a shutout. So I think they get something else.
Yeah, they get something a little better probably. Probably like surf and turf or something.
So here's our quarterback is Gervais Sally, who's the other guy in this pair right now. He's just a freshman, trying to get some reps, looking to throw again, knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Good play on that one by Mandrell Sanders, I believe.
He's a dude.
He's a dude looking for more offers because Coach says everybody knows about him, but nobody seems to be pulling the trigger yet on a really big offer when he could get into that D1 category.
Yeah, there's still some hesitancy about recruiting some of these rural schools in South Carolina, and I think there's some stereotype stuff that kind of gets attributed across the board that shouldn't, and some guys get overlooked. But, you know, Mandrell Sanders is a monster, and if you look at what guys from this program have done, you've got Evan McCutcheon, who walked on at Clemson, is on the roster now. You got Jamie and Risher, who's in the same situation at Carolina. So these guys can play football.
Here's Sally, who's going to get thrown down by Chisholm among others in the middle there. Big stick on the low level. Big shot there. Okay, well, let's talk about this team. Obviously, we're going to look at them, and anybody looking at it going, of course they have a shot at a state title. But you've watched them more, certainly, than I have, and a lot of people have. Is this the Hampton County team that really can make a long run in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're a complete team, and it starts with defense. You can't lose if you don't give up any points, and they don't give up many. I mean, the pizza party's in play about every week, and so they don't have to score a whole lot to be able to beat you, and Zion's going to put it in the end zone a couple times. So it's tough to beat them.
3rd and 9, Sally dumping it off. Nothing doing, though.
Big fella.
No chance there.
TJ.
Big play, huge play.
That's TJ Wright, Ty J Wright.
Ty J Wright with an enormous play, taking the man down, and he's a big man, too. He's
go.
Excited about this.
Let's go,
and
big fella.
The team's excited for him, too. Look at all the guys swarming him. They love it.
Big guys like that ain't supposed to be able to take little fast guys like that down by the legs. That's crazy.
Boy, he's about 3 times the size of that guy, too. Just so we understand, if in case you've been just tuning in, the pizza party's for a shutout when we're talking about that pizza party. And now suddenly 4th and 16, 14, 17 here.
I think that's why they're so excited for Ty J. He brought the pizza party back into play.
Sally going to throw it up top. He gets absolutely hammered. Throws it up, nearly picked off on that one, too.
You don't want to catch it.
Nothing doing, and the ball will be turned over to Hampton County. I think they wanted to see if they could catch it and score on that.
Yeah, he did, but you don't need to catch it.
But with 8:46 left here in the 4th quarter, we're going to go ahead to break. You're watching the WSV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week. This segment of the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week brought to you by Nissan. Experience the thrill for yourself at your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. Big win today for Hampton County. The Hurricanes up 57-0 over the 9th-rated team in the entire state. Justin, we said before the break, we're talking about Hampton County's shot to win this. Region champion gets basically 3 home games so they can keep winning. Barnwell, the only team left in the region that they have to deal with that really can beat them?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just Barnwell left. And Barnwell's a little down this year. The new coach. They've got it rolling now. They're a problem. But, I mean, they were thought to be a step below these two teams, and we've seen there's a separation here.
And they've got a week off before that Barnwell game as Hampton County back on offense. Handoff again on the outside. Ooh, another none.
Oh,
Jordan Beauvais. Nope, sorry, that's Gabriel Singletary, who's going to get down to the... Did they give him a touchdown? They did. That's a score all the way in for the touchdown, Jalen Singletary. But an interception earlier, he'll score on the big run right there. I'll tell you what, Hampton County, how many guys have carried the ball and how many have carried the ball for 10-plus yards? Another one there. Jalen Singletary, not necessarily known for his offensive side.
That was not good tackling.
Good tackling, a lot of good defense on that one.
Not good tackling. Not good tackling.
They're going to give it to him at the 1st and goal from the 3. Sorry, they didn't get in. Hard to see from the booth, and we were blocked out by the fans on that side. So they will give it to him at the 3, back down to 57-0, Hampton County.
Heck of an effort.
So Barnwell's left. The playoffs are ahead. We talked about Oceanside being sort of the dominant force last year. People say they're not quite as good as Hampton County looks to drive this one in one more time. It's the pitch on the outside. Singletary is in for the score that time, I believe. They will give him the score, so Singletary cleans up what they didn't give him the first time. And it's another touchdown for Hampton County. We were talking about it before. Hampton may be the best shot for a state title around here. Who else in the Low Country has that chance to go a long way?
Yeah, for most of this year, it's been kind of Hampton and Whale Branch. It's the year of the small schools for us. Whale Branch out in Seabrook, north of Beaufort, they've got a really good squad. Jerry Hatcher's been there a long, long time. They've sent a bunch of guys to big-time college football and to the pros. Dee Delaney playing on Sundays for the Bucks. It's a program with a lot of tradition. They've got a really good senior class this year led by K.J. Chisholm, Daryl Cummings, Bradford Thompson. They've got really some great leadership, and I think that they've got a shot to go really deep. They're up 35-8 tonight on Allendale Fairfax, which had been on a 4-game winning streak, so they're looking good. Big game against Bamberg Earhart. Last game of the season, that's always the big one in that region.
There's a kick, is up and good, 64-0. The other team that's interesting, we talked about them a little bit earlier, Hilton Christian dropped the first 2 games and looked like it was one of those seasons that you don't see out of Christian, but this time instead, we're looking at a Christian team who's won 5 in a row, but we're not talking about Christian as much as some of the seniors that we're seeing here and beyond. Tickets are now on sale for Savannah's Border Bowl on this one. Savannah's bowl game, it's the Blitz Border Bowl, presented by WSAV and Connect Savannah. You know the Blitz Border Bowl is an all-star showdown between the best seniors from Georgia and South Carolina, all to benefit the Ronald McDonald House and Shriners Charities. Tickets are on sale now, flying off the shelves, so get yours early before the cost goes up. Right now, Justin, it is how much?
I have no idea.
$10. That's what you were wondering. So they go up on November 3rd, which is coming up quickly. So make plans for the Blitz Border Bowl Saturday, January 13th, 2024 at Memorial Stadium.
It's a fun event. I always enjoy it.
It is always a good event to see all the seniors and really get them a chance at maybe some college scholarships. Ball dropped on that one on the kickoff. They will break free, though. Levante Furry is going to get over the 40-yard line on that. A very nice return considering he dropped it to start. Good job there as the clock now 7:23, and Woodland will be back in business on this one. So we talked about Hilton Head Christian. Dropped the first 2. I'm looking at them going, this isn't a typical Christian team, but now 5 straight, and they're right back in play.
Yeah, first one wasn't a fair fight. Savannah Christian and Hilton Head Christian are not. That's apples and oranges. They got overmatched in that one. They lost a tough game to Wilson Hall, who looks like one of the top teams in Skeeza 3A, and they've rolled off 5 in a row since then and looked really good doing it. So looks like Ron Peduzzi has another championship caliber team there. Skeeza 3A is really pretty even, the top 4 or 5 teams, so it's going to be wide open, but I think HHCA could be right there.
Fun to see some different teams in play. Hilton and Christian, not necessarily a different team because they've won multiple state titles so far, but seeing Hampton County, seeing a Whale Branch in play. Another stuff, Kayvon Chisholm, not giving up yet, throwing his man down on that one. Dorian Britt feeling that when Chisholm hits him.
He wants the pizza. He wants the pizza.
He wants something because he's ready to keep playing
he's
and
hungry.
playing hard.
Oh, he's hungry, man. He wants to play at the next level real bad, and he's going to get the opportunity. He's got several offers already, including Toledo. That was the first time he went on a plane. He went up to Toledo, and he was blown away by the fact that he was 30,000 feet in the air. So I think he'd like to be a little closer to home. If the Gamecocks came calling, that would probably end it.
Citadel in there, Georgia State, Georgia Southern also looking at him. So be interesting to see who steps up on this one because he's made big plays in this game. Drop back pass thrown and thrown off of the receiver. Fell down on that one for Woodland. Nothing doing for them on that, which has been sort of the statement for most of the game because of the pressure on the quarterback the entire time.
No time. And Chisholm, going back to Chisholm, I know he also is excited about Coastal Carolina and Liberty. He has a couple of places he'd like to get an offer. And
so interesting to see him out there. Talking about Chisholm a lot too, Justin. Has he been going up against Cam Pringle, or is he on the other side doing this damage? Because I haven't noticed as much, and I should have been keeping track. I think he's been on the other side more.
He's mostly been opposite him, but that means Sanders is working on the same side as Pringle, and he's doing damage too.
Well, they're putting 2 people over there. Now, this time Chisholm was on Pringle's side.
Oh.
Wasn't him that made the play, though. Instead, Zedekiah Raymond comes up with the big play. Again, the cheerleaders keep going. They got the food. They're good to go.
Band's rocking and rolling now.
Tough snap there. Nothing doing on that one. Really, Cooper Glazer has been under fire all day long. The line is good. They're not that good compared to right now what the D-line is doing for Hampton County.
It's been incredible. Zedekiah Raymond's another guy that came over from Estill and bought in, and he had a huge play in that Hilton Head game. They came out, got to put one on the board, blocked a punt. He scooped it up, took it into the end zone, set the tone, and they dominated that game from start to finish, won 26-3.
I think you're looking at a big emotional lift here for Hampton County team, who's not used to being in this position of being now the favorites in this area to maybe go far away, as they're going to go and set up for a punt for Woodland with 4:15 left. Here is the kick. That was blocked, I believe, on that.
That was the best snap they had all night, and that one got deflected.
That one got deflected, so we'll roll down here. We love coming to Hampton County. Back in the day, it was Wade Hampton for you, and the last time it was in Varnville. We were here for the region championship. May River and the Wade Hampton Red Devils. They were October 26th, 2018. A great night. Future Blitz Border Bowl players all over the field, like Pernell Maxwell, the All-State running back. He came out of the gate on fire. I believe he got injured in that game, though, scoring on the first play. And then May River quarterback Ahmad Green, who would have a huge night. This one definitely a Blitz Classic.
Oh, no question. Those teams had some great battles when they were...
Past the 50, on his feet, actually it's Williams. Deshario Williams will go. Touchdown Wade Hampton, and they're okay.
Interesting there, you saw Pernell Maxwell there.
Keegan in the end zone. Touchdown Sharks. Your final score tonight, May River 35, Wade Hampton 14, and the Sharks are region champions.
Gotta love the excitement right there.
So you heard it there. The Sharks were region champions coming into Wade Hampton and winning this game big on this. Pernell Maxwell, the All-State running back, drove in for a touchdown in the first play, got hurt on about the third play. He was the guy in the end zone jumping up to celebrate with his team. Unfortunately for them, they were never able to put it back together. This is by far the best team that this school or this area has had since then, and it's not just one player, but it seems to be multiples to play this out.
That was kind of the rebirth of Wade Hampton football, though. Dr. Jerry Brown came in here, reestablished that program, and Rob Hanna learned under him and has taken that system really, for me, to another level. and it's really special. What
Start.
he's doing.
Offense
Interesting
number
that he
54.
got this job.
5-yard
and wanted
penalty.
it, 'cause he
First
wanted
down.
to know what he could do with this team and really cares about the area too. Hearing him talk about this is important to Hampton. It's important to see what's going on for the farmers, for all the people at the various plants. You know, when the last plant went down, then suddenly this is just as important, and this can give the whole region a boost if they play well.
A lot of guys talk the talk. Rob Hanna walks the walk, and you're really seeing that it's shining through in his program right now. They did miss some red, though. They painted everything blue around here, but we found some red in the press box.
They're working on that. It's the first year.
They missed it.
It's the first year, so here we are. Xavier Garvin is at the quarterback again. A few names we hadn't heard so far. The handoff on the outside. That is Tyler Davis again. He's going to get two or three after a couple penalties. 2:13 left with running clock.
Somebody from Woodland's talking after the play. 64-0, bud.
I'm not sure if you should be talking much.
I
There's a
wouldn't
man
say
down
nothing.
for Woodland on this one.
I
That's
wouldn't say
Jaleen
nothing.
Adgerson, who's down on the field. He'll get up and hobble off on this one. You know,
64.
Woodland, they're not really in our area. They're still a very good team, and I think they could do some damage in here. They may just have to face off with some of the top teams earlier because of the way Hampton County did this to them tonight. But
Well, they got to beat Barnwell now, and they got to beat Ridgeland because
they already beat Ridgeland.
Oh, they beat
so,
Ridgeland.
yeah,
That's
it's
right.
just they
Barnwell's
both have
got to beat
Barnwell
Ridgeland though,
left.
because it's 24-16 at last report.
So Ridgeland putting up a show over there too, which is good. As Hampton running the clock out a little bit here, a couple more yards for one of the running backs as they just try to make this clock keep moving down to the final whistle. 3rd and 10. So we've seen a dominant performance today from Hampton County. You always love to come up and see the local teams do well. This is a team that you very well, if you follow it on Loco Sports or anywhere else, including on WSAV, you're going to see this team a couple weeks ahead. Not just next week, not just the week after, but maybe 3 or 4 down the road. And you can sit here and say, we watched them on the Friday night blitz, and we saw exactly what they could do, and they proved it tonight. So keep an eye on this team, I think, Justin, very much.
Oh, yeah. I've been a Hampton County truther since last season. Again, just seeing how those two rosters were going to come together and how special it could be. And listening to Rob Hanna talk about, you know, his plans for how to make it happen. And it's all gone according to plan, and it's really something to keep an eye on because something special is happening here in Hampton County.
Well, Justin's been talking about it for weeks, and we were able to come up here and watch it all for ourselves. That man right there, Zion Dobson, putting on a show in the first half. Big smiles on senior night for him. Counting them out. How many he's got? Yep, that's 5, everybody. Absolutely. Zion Dobson with 5 touchdowns in this one. Hampton County with a dominant 64-0 win over Woodland. We've got our player of the game. You may be looking at him right there.
I think so.
Your performance of the game and all the highlights you're going to want to see from a big night here in Hampton County. The Low Country showing out. 64-0 Hampton County Hurricanes with the win. We'll be right back with a whole lot more on the WSAV CW Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week.